Most Nigerians are trapped inside a dangerous form of English that sounds normal locally but quietly destroys their IELTS score internationally. And unless you understand this trap, you may continue studying harder without even crossing a band 7. It is strange that every year thousands of Nigerians prepare for IELTS with serious determination. They buy textbooks, watch YouTube tutorials, attend coaching classes, memorize vocabulary, practice essays late into the night, and after all the efforts, their results still come back as speaking 5.5 or writing 6, overall band 6. So they study harder, then they think the problem is vocabulary, so they memorize more big English, then they write the exam again and still remain stuck. Meanwhile, someone who does not even sound more educated somehow scores a band 7.5 or a band 8 in one sitting. Why? Because most Nigerians are trapped inside a dangerous form of English that sounds normal locally but quietly destroys their IELTS score internationally. And unless you understand this trap, you may continue studying harder without even crossing a band 7. The English Nigerians speak is not always IELTS English. This is the painful truth most students never hear. In Nigeria, many expressions are socially accepted because everyone around us speaks that way. Teachers say it, friends say it, parents say it, radio presenters say it, even professionals say it. So naturally, your brain assumes if everybody speaks this way, then it must be correct. But IELTS examiners are not scoring you based on what sounds normal in Nigeria. They are scoring you based on international English usage, natural communication patterns, standard pronunciation, global sentence structure, and native life fluency. This changes everything because your English may sound perfectly correct in Lagos, Abuja, Benin, Port Harcourt, or Ibadan, but sounds unnatural inside the IELTS exam room. And once your English sounds unnatural, your score suffers immediately. Here's what most students don't realize. IELTS is not testing whether Nigerians understand your English. No. IELTS is testing how you communicate in standard international English. That includes of your phrasing, sentence reading, your pronunciation, word choice, natural expression, and fluency patterns. This is why many Nigerians sound confident but still score low. Because confidence alone is not enough, right? A student can speak for 2 minutes non-stop but still get a band 5.5. Why? Because the examiner notices unnatural expressions, translated speech from pidgin or vernacular, memorized languages, local phrasing, and awkward pronunciation patterns within seconds. And unfortunately, many IELTS tutorials in Nigeria never fix these deeper issues. They only teach templates, grammar rules, essay structures, and vocabulary lists. But IELTS is bigger than grammar. IELTS is communication, natural communication, and this is where most students fail. Let's expose some of the most common expressions Nigerians use that sound unnatural internationally. These are expressions examiners quietly penalize because they reveal localized English habits. Number one is I'm coming. You say in Nigeria, this means I'll be back soon. But internationally, it means I'm on my way. You might say, who will say this kind of English in the speaking test or writing test? Take it from me. Having reviewed thousands of essays and conducted hundreds of speaking tests, many people use this in the IELTS exam. They make the mistake because it's how they speak every day. From today, stop saying I'm coming. Start saying I'll be right back. Number two, my phone spoils. Now it is only perishable items like food that spoil. Phones, devices, gadgets in general, they break, stop working, or you say they get damaged. So instead of saying my phone spoiled, say my phone stopped working. Number three is I trekked. Now this is popular when candidates are asked topics that involve walking. In IELTS English, trekking refers to long, difficult journeys, often through rough terrain. So unless you actually walked on a long and difficult journey through rough terrain, don't use the word trek. Say I walked instead. And number four, I'm hearing you. You say this is a direct translation of pidgin or your local language into English. In pidgin, we'll say I know they hear you. It's the same structure that is translated to English when you say I am hearing you. Listen, in correct English, saying I'm not hearing you means you have an ear or hearing problem. The correct expression should be I can't hear you properly. Number five is she is my senior. Now this is very common in Nigeria because we use it to indicate that someone is above us or higher than us or older than us. But it's unnatural internationally. The correct expressions you should be using are she's older than me or she's ahead of me in school. And number six is flash me. You see, outside Nigeria, many people will not understand this expression at all. Say, give me a missed call instead. Are you getting this? Number 7 is I'm pressing my phone or I'm pressing phone. Now, this is a localized expression that means you are using your phone. In international English, it is a very wrong expression. The correct expression is I'm using my phone. Number 8, she ate my money. Now, this is a direct translation from our local language, all right? You cannot eat money. You only spend it. So the correct expressions are she spent my money, or you say she wasted my money. Number 9, using sorry for everything. You see, many Nigerians will say sorry when they mean excuse me. They will use sorry for sympathy. For example, sorry, your car spoiled. But native speakers don't do this. Alright, they often say that's unfortunate, or I'm sorry to hear that. Not just sorry. And number 10, do the needful. This is very common in Africa, and also got to know that it's also common in South Asia, but it's unnatural in IELTS. The correct expression should be please take care of it, or you can say please handle it. Now, notice something important. Most of these expressions are not terrible grammar, all right? That's why students keep using them confidently, but IELTS examiners are trained to detect non-standard communication patterns immediately. And these little mistakes quietly reduce your score. This is exactly why many hardworking Nigerians remain trapped in the band 6 despite months of studying. Now, another hidden problem is punctuation. See, many Nigerians will pronounce words exactly how they are spelled, but English pronunciation does not always follow spelling. For example, Wednesday. That's not the way you pronounce it. It's Wednesday. We will say comfortable instead of comfortable. We will say vegetable instead of vegetable. Do you get it? So let me quickly say something here. You don't need a British or American accent to score band 7 or above. IELTS does not reward fake accent. Understand that. What IELTS reward is clarity, natural reading, all right, your correct word stress, correct word usage, understandable pronunciation, and smooth communication. So basically, the examiner wants to be able to hear you and understand what you are saying, and you should be expressing yourself in correct standard international English. And once our students fix these areas, their speaking scores often jump quickly. Now listen, studying harder alone will not save you here. All right, this is why many Nigerians waste years preparing for IELTS tests. They assume if I just study harder, I will improve. But hard work alone is not enough. If you're practicing the wrong habits repeatedly, think about it. If someone is driving from Lagos to Abuja using the wrong road, driving faster will not help. They are still on the wrong road. And this is exactly what happens with many IELTS candidates. They practice for natural English, they memorize responses, they translate speech from their local language to English, and they use robotic pronunciation for months. Then they wonder why their score refused to move. The issue here is not effort. The issue here is not hard work. The issue here is direction. So how do smart students study to score a band 7 and above? The students who improve fastest usually make one powerful shift. They stop trying to sound too intelligent and start learning to sound natural. I'm going to repeat this. The students who improve fastest usually make one powerful shift. They stop trying to sound too intelligent and start learning how to sound natural. That changes everything. So instead of forcing complicated vocabulary, they learn natural expressions, conversational English, and fluency reading. And suddenly their English begins to sound international instead of localized. That's when band 7 becomes realistic. Here are some of the exact adjustments successful students make. Number 1 is stop using overly formal English. You see, many Nigerians believe that complicated English equals good English. Wrong. IELTS speaking rewards natural communication. So instead of saying something like furthermore, I derive satisfaction from, just simply say, I really enjoy. Simple, natural, you sound human, and that's how you get your score to become higher. Number 2 is stop memorizing answers. IELTS examiners detect memorized responses very quickly. And once they suspect you memorize your answer, your fluency score will suffer. So instead, learn flexible speaking frameworks. That way, your answers sound spontaneous and natural. Number 3, train your ears daily. See, students who improve fastest spend time listening to podcasts, and not just any podcast. It is podcasts of native English speakers, interviews of native English speakers, documentaries that are done by native English speakers, and conversations of native English speakers in general. When I say native English speaker, I mean British, people from New Zealand, people from Australia. Are you getting it? This naturally rewires your brain for international English patterns. Let me ask you one question. How often do you do this? Like, can you now see why you are still struggling? So, what do you think is the real difference between students who stay stuck and students who break through? See, the biggest difference is coaching, because most students cannot hear their own mistakes objectively. You may think you sound fine. Meanwhile, an examiner instantly notices your unnatural phrasing, your pronunciation errors, your translated expressions, and your robotic delivery. That's why self-study often fails. You will keep repeating hidden mistakes without realizing it, but one correction from the right coach can change your score dramatically. And this is exactly why my students improve faster than average candidates. You see, many students, they come to me after failing IELTS multiple times, after they've attended several IELTS centers, memorized templates endlessly, and studied for months without progress. And almost all of them discovered the same thing. The problem was never their intelligence. The problem was how they were speaking English. Once we fix their localized expressions, their fluency habits, and their communication patterns, their scores change quickly. Just like Oliver here, who passed the IELTS exam with just 21 days despite working full time. This is the message she sent me. She said, I wrote my IELTS exam on the 21st of November and I passed. She said she got reading 8, listening 7.5, speaking 7, and writing 7. And here's the amazing part. She said it was my first attempt, was very busy at work, and had only 3 weeks of intensive preparation. And this is not just her. Here is Adoki from Abiyokuta, who avoided IELTS for 6 years. She went through my coaching and finally scored listening 9, reading 7.5, writing 7.5, and speaking 7.5 in one sitting. As a matter of fact, let's hear from her.
Yeah, this is my wife. Her name is Ololade. Okay.
You sent me very much. You had what's the result again? She just call it out from listening, reading, writing, and speaking. What did you get exactly in each of?
Okay.
Listening 9.0.
Wow.
Writing 7.5. Reading 7.5. Speaking 7.5.
In your first attempt, after 6 years of deciding not to take any exam in your life.
Yes.
Wow.
You see, these are not miracles. These are strategic results, because once preparation becomes targeted, improvement becomes faster. Now, here's why our approach is different. You see, most IELTS tutors, they teach you information, all right? We focus on transformation. We don't just teach you grammar. What I show my students why their English sounds unnatural, what examiners are really hearing when they speak, how to sound globally accepted, how to increase fluency quickly, how to avoid Nigerian English traps, and then how to think like a band 7 and above candidate. That's why my students don't just study harder, they study smarter. And that difference changes everything. And this is the reason I would like to introduce you to the Band 8 in 30 days challenge starting on the 2nd. For the next 30 days, I'll personally guide you through the exact system my students use to score band 7, band 7.5, band 8, and even above in one sitting. Even with busy jobs, even after previous failures, even if IELTS has always been their weak point. Here's how the challenge works. Now, inside the private WhatsApp group, every single day, I walk you through 2 IELTS question types. Now, I also show you the traps that IELTS use to fake candidates, and I'll give you the exact trick to beat them fast. In addition to that, you get real IELTS past questions you will likely meet on exam day. So there's no guessing, there are no confusions, no information overload. Just a step-by-step system designed to help you master IELTS quickly. And here's the breakdown. Week 1, we look at speaking and the listening sheet codes. Week 2, we look at writing task 2 sheet codes. Week 3 is focused on writing task 1 for both academics and general training. And week 4 is for reading sheet codes with intensive practice marathon with questions that you will likely meet on exam day. So that means that in just 19 days, you will cover the entire IELTS syllabus strategically, then spend the remaining days sharpening your speed, confidence, and accuracy before your exam. Now, I want you to imagine walking into the IELTS examination or knowing you can predict the kinds of questions coming. You know the traps hidden inside them. You have proven strategies ready for every situation. Like you're no longer hoping to pass, you expect to pass. That level of confidence changes everything, and it's exactly what the Band 8 challenge did for Lillian.
My name is Lillian also, and the reason why I wanted to write the IELTS exam was because I wanted to enter the Canadian Express School, and it was a requirement to have a language test. And I didn't know French, so the obvious option was English. So that is why I had to take the IELTS test. So this is my first time writing the IELTS exam. I've not taken it before. I've not taken any international exam before, so I was not sure how it was going to be like. So I was pretty nervous regarding the listening and the reading and the writing because I, the last time I wrote an essay was in my secondary school. I can't remember how it felt like to write an essay. So I was not confident about taking the exam at all. I was not confident at all, especially about the writing. So it was a challenge actually. I didn't even know how I was going to do it. So I told my husband that, and that is why he had to sign me up for the class. You broke down each and every step we needed to take, and I think I had still had that knowledge. The videos I watched the week before my exam, I could still remember some of the things you were saying while in the exam hall when I was doing the writing. So that is more of the reason you didn't take it from a high level point. You took it from a low level, so people are able to understand. Those that don't have a good grasp of English are able to, become familiar with that strategy and to know that yes, it's not hard. You just need to be prepared. You just need to have the right strategy to go about the exam. Whether you know English or you don't know English, it's possible for you to, get a very good score in the IELTS exam. So yes, I highly recommend it. And I have already told my sister.
Now you might be asking, what's the required investment to join the Bandit in 30 days challenge? The Bandit 30 challenge is priced just 2,000 naira per day, which amounts to 2 payments of 30,000 naira or 1 payment of 55,000 naira. And compared to the opportunities a high IS score can unlock for you, this investment is very, very tiny because one strong IS result can help you relocate abroad, access global opportunities, you can be able to earn in pounds and dollars, you give your family a better future, and finally move your life forward. And here's the best part: when you join the Bandit 30 challenge within the next 24 hours, you will receive instant access to my IHA plan that Oliver used to land a band 6.5 within 21 days. You will also get full access to our IHA code votes and also our IS persuasion votes containing questions similar to what you meet on exam day, all for free. And that's when you sign up for the Bandit challenge within the next 24 hours. After 24 hours, these bonuses, they disappear forever. Listen, a new cohort of the Bandit challenge starts on the 2nd of every month, and once we begin, registration closes because I only want serious action takers inside this program. See, I want only people who are ready to stop guessing, people who want to finally prepare strategically. So if you are tired of repeated low scores, if you're tired of studying without progress, if you're tired of fear, confusion, and wasting your money on your rights, this is your moment. Make your payment to the account number on the screen right now and send your proof to us on WhatsApp so that you get added to the private WhatsApp group and start your preparation with the same system that also helped many students like Moralake, Eget, Onome, Jovita, Juliet, Ogechuku, and Aminat. And if you failed in the past, you will be celebrating just like Nyemeka, who had failed the exam 4 times before we met. After joining the Bandit challenge, she jumped from a band 5.5 to a band 8. And not just her, Ade as well.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Ade, and I'm here to share my testimony with you guys. Okay, some months back I registered with Triumph for some IELTS tutorials. I'm a nurse back home in Nigeria, and I'm glad to let you guys know that I'm now a nurse in the UK. I got a 7.5 in reading from 6 and a band of 8 in listening from 6 also.
So what's your major advice? What's your major advice for people in your shoes in Nigeria right now?
Well, as for me, especially for nurses, because the opportunity is there.
Okay.
So far you pass the exams, you just try as much as possible to put in all effort. If it's worth you borrowing money, I'm telling you, it's worth it. Even if you don't have the money now and you want to pass the exam, just try as much as possible to borrow from somebody that is reliable and know that okay, you can confide in. Just borrow and put in all your efforts. So far you pass, you have the necessary requirements, you are good to go. Because the opportunity is there for nurses to come in, nurses, doctors, even pharmacists.
Listen, the next ISO story could easily be yours, but only if you act, because delay is dangerous. Make your payment right now, send your payment to us on WhatsApp so you get started immediately. I'll see you inside the challenge. Bye bye for now.